Hello everyone, welcome to Bridal Business TV. I am your host Dawn Rose. Today I'm really excited to share an interview with you with the wonderful Sue McLaurin, who is the creator of the Bridal Beauty Pro App. So I'm going to switch over to our interview very soon. I'm just going to allow everyone to come and join in to the broadcast. So I want to say thank you to those of you who are watching us on the replay. I hope you get some benefit out of this today. Please do not forget to leave us some comments, because Sue and I will definitely get back to you on those. And don't forget to give us those thumbs up and those hearts so that we can keep broadcasting to you guys. And we're really enjoying doing the broadcasts. So please keep giving us the thumbs up and the heart, so that it encourages my guests that they're sharing some great information with you guys. So before I get started and interview Sue, let me know when you're coming on, where you're coming on from, etc., etc. And for those of you, again, if you're on the replay, good morning everyone. Say hi, please do say hi if you're there. I can see there's a few of you joining right now, so please jump on and say hi to us, won't you? Okay, guys. All right, well, what I'm going to do while people are just joining the broadcast, what I thought I'd do, we'll get started with the interview. I'm going to just introduce Sue to you guys, and then I'm going to switch over onto my screen so that we can get on with the interview. So let me just give you a little bit of a background about Sue. Sue is a freelance makeup artist. Oh, there we go. Good morning there, Donna. How are you this morning from Camden, New South Wales? Good morning, Donna. Thank you for joining us, Donna. And thank you for saying hi. So, guys, Sue is a freelance professional makeup artist, over 16 years in bridal fashion, commercial, TV work. She has began her career in far north Queensland, growing a really successful bridal business, starting with about 5 weddings, going up to like 150 by sort of her 3rd year in business. And then she moved over to, or down to, I should say, Brisbane in 2007, and concentrated a bit more on commercial and editorial work, but she was still doing brides at the same time, still working with sort of 20 to 50 brides a year. So Sue is a veteran of over 600 weddings. Isn't that so awesome? So her experience is absolutely phenomenal. Good morning, Tina, as well. Thank you for joining us today. So Sue is so passionate now about really helping people feel good about themselves through the power of makeup. And I'm going to let her share with you how her story has begun and how the Bridal Beauty Pro App has come into it. So, guys, without further ado, please let me introduce Sue. I'm going to flick over onto my screen. Sue, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Dawn. It's really my pleasure to be here and to share my story with everybody. So
thank you. I'm really excited. Guys, can you give me a thumbs up? Let me know that you can hear Sue, just to let me know that you heard her then. So I'm really excited to share your story. I've really only come across the Pro app within the last, I would say, 6 months or so, but it's been around for a couple of years now. But how did you get started? Sound is fine, Donna saying. Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much. So how did you get started in makeup? How did this come about? Did makeup find you, or did you find makeup?
I think makeup found me, actually. So I spent my 20s working and living in Europe. I was actually working in a completely unrelated industry, the travel industry. And when I came back to Australia, I was helping my sister out, who was working for a direct sales makeup company, and I would go along and be her model at the trainings. And I joined that company basically to help her out, but it really wasn't my thing. I loved doing the parties, and I loved, helping women feel good about themselves and teaching them in the parties, but the sales side of it wasn't really for me. Yeah. And then someone one day said to me, "Oh, you should do wedding makeups. That's a really good way to, make some money with doing makeup, something that you love." And I just had a baby at that time. And I thought, well, that could be a really good way for me to work on the weekends when my husband could stay home and look after the baby, and I could be home with the baby during the week. So, yeah, it did. Yeah. So I was living in Sydney at the time, and I went and did a short course in bridal and fashion makeup. Yeah. And, that was kind of 16 odd years ago. Wow. So, yeah.
And that's kind of what kick-started it. So,
yeah,
so did you go, so you were in Sydney at the time when you did kind of the qualification side of things, and yes. Then you moved up to far north Queensland.
Exactly, yeah. So just it kind of all as I'm a real believer in fate, and I believe that, fate put me where I needed to be to grow that business. Yeah. So just after I'd finished the course, the family, we decided to move up to far north Queensland, and I knew nobody up there. Well, I knew my dad, my stepmom, and my sister and her husband. So 4 people, none of them who were in the wedding industry at all. So I really did have to start from nothing. I'd done a course. I didn't have many images in my portfolio, but I had this burning desire. I knew that through makeup I could, help people feel good about themselves. And the thought of being a part of someone's special day, their wedding day, really excited me. So, yeah.
I really think that's something that we probably all share, is that passion for bridal. Because I think you do have to have a passion, because there are stylists out there and they're like, no, I just can't do brides. And I do think that it's a real niche for some makeup and hairstylists. Do you think the same?
Absolutely, yeah. And I guess it's kind of fortunate that it's fairly seasonal as well. So we have this period where we're very, very busy, and then things quieten down a little bit and we can take a bit of a breather, before we ramp up again for the next season. So.
Yeah, and even if we're doing like just the odd brides through the winter, sometimes I know some bridal stylists, they like to be busy all year round, which is fantastic. But some of us, I'm the same as you. I was happy just having a big flood of it during that wedding season, and then being able to take a step back and have a bit of a breather at that time. So absolutely. How did you, so you did a lot of weddings to begin with, and then you moved over. What made you sort of move into the sort of commercial and sort of TV side of things, editorial side of things?
Well, so what I thought would be a little weekend job for me actually turned out to be a full-time plus career. Right. So I started there and I did 5 brides in my first year, and I had another baby. Yeah. And then in my second year it became 56, and my third and fourth years, both of those years, I did over 150 brides. So obviously it wasn't just a part-time weekend anymore. No. Cairns and far north Queensland is really the destination capital of Australia. Yes. So I was doing weddings 7 days a week in the busy season. I think my record was 11 weddings in 1 week. I know, which is crazy. Often they were smaller weddings though, lots of elopements up there. But so it was very busy. Yeah. But after 4 years, the family decided to move away from there, which was kind of heartbreaking for me because I built up this business, but I sold the business to one of the girls that was working for me, because I did have a couple of people, subcontracting by then, and we moved down to Brisbane. So by that time, my children were, about to enter school, or my eldest one had just started school and the next one was about to go to school. So I didn't want to be working every weekend. No. I shifted the focus to commercial and editorial work and went through that painstaking, period of getting established again.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's always tough. And guys, keep your questions coming in. Please do. I'm making a note of them, and I will come back. Sue and I will definitely be talking. We'll be getting to your questions in a little bit. But yeah, keep them coming. Keep them. I've seen a few visions. Hello from Melbourne. Hey, Yalitza. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, guys. So yeah, keep the questions coming in, guys, because we will get to your questions. So tell me, Sue, how did the whole app come about? Where did that fit in with your story?
Okay, so, well, I've always prided myself on being a really organised person. So in parts of my previous life, I was responsible for very large-scale organisation. And as you know, when you're a busy bridal makeup artist, there's a lot to organise and you have a lot of information. So all the information going backwards and forwards between you and the bride, and then you go and do a trial and you've got all those notes and the pictures and all this sort of thing. And I had an incident many years ago where I'd left my diary on a plane. Fortunately, I got it back. I realised soon enough to be able to go back. But that kind of started me thinking, oh gosh, I really can't be keeping all of my information written in a diary. So then I started to keep my information on my computer and store things in the cloud and, try and make use of technology. But I was all over the place. Everything had photos here and notes here and emails here. It all came to a head one day when I went to a trial and I'd plugged the bride's address into Google Maps, and I'd gotten there and realised it was an apartment block. So I had the street name, street number. I'm parked outside this apartment block and I didn't know the apartment number. and I couldn't find her phone number, and I'm scrolling back through emails, and it took enough time for me to become very frustrated with how long it took me to find exactly where I needed to be, for me to think there has to be a better way. And then I think it was driving home, or maybe it was in the shower later, or, you know, you get those moments of inspiration. And I thought, you know what, there should be an app for this.
Yeah.
So I started to do a bit of research, and I have a friend who works in the film industry, and she told me about a film continuity app. And I had a look at that, but it was really focused on film, and it was quite expensive.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, I'm not really sure. I want something that's really dedicated for bridal, because it is quite a unique area of the industry. You know, it's doing a trial and having all those records and then going back on the day and having to recreate. In some ways it's like continuity in film, but in other ways it's quite different. So, you know, that was, I guess, kind of my impetus, and I couldn't find anything out there. And I was sitting with my partner one day and I said, I've got this really good business idea, you know, and I told him about it, and I'm like, somebody should do this. And he just said to me, well, why don't you do this? And I'm like, I can't do it. But anyway, so the conversation
self-doubt kicks in, which we all have when it comes to doing something new and opening our minds to the possibility that we might actually be good at something else. We all get that self-doubt, right? It creeps in.
Totally. And, you know, I thought I knew so much about weddings, but obviously I didn't know anything about creating an app.
Yeah.
So I went and, you know, did some further research and hired a company to create the app for me. So, yeah, that's
amazing. It's amazing. And you're so right, because organization, I think, I did a live stream earlier and I said that I feel like as creatives, we are very outcome orientated. Like, can we achieve the look that our brides want, right? So, but we don't always think about how we're going to get there. And admin is a part of that. I was talking before about email marketing, but also administration and keeping ourselves organized and focused and having one place for all of our brides, especially when you're starting to book multiple weddings on a weekend. The last thing, like, I mean, I've done the same as you, where I have gone somewhere and I've forgotten my planner and gone, oh crap, I've not got her address. And then I've thought, oh God, what number was it? You know, what number house was I supposed to be at? And I've had to ring my husband and say to him, can you just go through my planner for today and just tell me what I've got the address, but I hadn't put in the house number. And also I think before we had, like, you know, the kind of the Google apps, we were just using our TomToms or our Navmans or whatever. Like, in, you know, sometimes you didn't type in, you just typed in the address and it didn't always bring up the number, and you think, oh God, what was the number I typed in for her address? We've, you know, definitely having some central place where all our brides' information can be. It's like clarity to bridal stylists. It really is clarity. Like, I think, organization is a big key in our industry. Definitely.
Yeah.
So what are the kind of benefits to hair and makeup artists? So what are you designed it, I know originally it's kind of specifically makeup artists was your focus at the time, because that's what you did, but it is for hair and makeup artists, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess from the very beginning, it was designed for hair and makeup artists. So we have a section for makeup and hairstyling. So anything that you would do at the trial, the products you would use, placement, all that sort of thing, there's a section for you to list, but also for hairstylists. So what tools you would use, what products, where you're going to part the hair, that's all there as well. So it is designed for both hair and makeup artists, hairstylists or makeup artists, or the combination. And obviously then there's, you know, you can put the images in those sections as well. So if you're doing just makeup, you can put the pictures in the makeup section and then scroll up and down and read, okay, well, in the crease I've used this eyeshadow, and then scroll it back to the picture and look. And the same for the hair section. Yeah.
And it's basically, it's like having, Tina's just saying that it is kind of, guys, we are at the mercy of Skype and internet connection. So just be aware, if it does come in and out, you should be okay on the replay, guys, but it may be a bit fuzzy sometimes. But I think as well, I noticed it's like having a face chart as well in your pocket, isn't it? You've got the things that we would write in a face chart, you've got that on the app.
Absolutely. And the actual image there. So rather than just a face chart that you've drawn, you've got the photo. So, you know, I always do the old eyes closed photo so you can see the placement of the shadow. Or if I'm doing hair, I'll take a photo of the top of the head so I can see the part, and then both sides and the back and the front. So you've got all those images, the full 360, so you can see everything there, which is more than you can see on a face or hair chart. And then obviously the list of all the products. And it's so much easier than scrolling through. I was going to actually check the number of photos that I have on my camera roll on my phone.
Oh.
I do believe it's over 9,000 at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say I downloaded some of mine the other day, but
you know,
like I'm the same. I'm up at 3,654. That's my crazy number at the moment. So
exactly. And if you've done the trial maybe 6 months ago, you know, and you get there on the wedding day and you're scrolling through the photos of your kids and your last camping trip and your overseas holiday and that night that you went out and had a few too many drinks, and you know, your bride doesn't need to be sitting there while you're scrolling through trying to find the photos. So, you know, I thought, well, if it's going to help me, obviously it's going to make life easier for so many other makeup artists out there.
Yeah.
You know,
I know we've frozen a little bit on screen there, but I'm hoping you can still hear Sue. I think she's still coming through. We've just frozen from my end, definitely.
Oh, we're okay my end.
Okay,
so
cool. Well, hopefully it's still going, but let's just have a quick check on Facebook and make sure.
Technical.
Oh yeah, okay. You're completely back again now for me, so we're good. We've unfrozen, I think.
Good. Yeah, not so.
Yeah, we're good. I think we're okay. Salima
Awesome.
says, yes, you can hear that the screen was frozen. That's okay. That's all right, as long as you can hear guys still as well. Again, technology. We're at the mercy of technology and internet connection, and so, you know, what can you do? But so what I was going to ask you is that inside the app, you have designed it so that everyone can download it, right? We can have, and let's just say we're back. We're good. Cool. So you can download it, and we can have a look through the app, and we can add on a couple of brides. We can try it out, basically, can't we? And then we can upgrade for the full version.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, we wanted to make it, I mean, you know, I've downloaded so many apps that I've paid $10, $20 for and never used. Yeah. And I didn't do that, you know. I know as makeup artists, we're all very budget conscious. So I wanted it to, you know, to be something that people would use if they were going to pay money for. Yeah. And I've gotten a lot of feedback, and everybody said this is a fantastic idea. So we decided to go with a free trial. Yeah. So you can download the app for free, and it's available on both the Apple App Store and also Google Play. So it's available for mobile devices, either Apple or Android versions. Yeah. And you can download it for free, and then you can add 2 brides' records. After that time, you'll be prompted to unlock. So it's a one-off fee, which at the moment is $9.99 in Australian, and then obviously depending on if you're from America or Canada or Europe or the UK or wherever, it is available on all markets, so you can download it anywhere. And I've had people in like really bizarre non-English speaking countries download the app, which is really awesome to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That is really, and I love the fact that it's global.
Exactly. So whatever it is, the equivalent of, you know, $10 in their local currency is what they will be charged for the app. And after you've done that, you can add an infinite number of brides.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So there's no limit to the amount of brides that you add. And what about the amount of photos? Is there a limit per?
No, there's not. And the really good thing about it too is all of the information is stored on the cloud. So if you need to obviously delete photos off your camera roll, you can do that if your phone's getting full. Yep. But also if you lose your phone, or, you know, when you upgrade your phone, the information is all still there. So it's not like the information is stored on your phone. It's stored off your phone on the cloud. So you can just simply download the app again, and once you put in your username, it will know that you've already paid to unlock it, so you won't have to pay again on another device, and your information will all come up there.
Yeah, so it's all stored under your own like username and password, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's so cool. And so that means that so we can delete some of our brides off of our phones, knowing that they're still in the app.
Exactly. Yes. And if you've got two devices, so I have the app on both my phone and my iPad, and so often I'll take my iPad when I go to the wedding so I can see a bigger picture.
Yes.
And it syncs in between, so...
so you just log into either device with you, and it will just bring it up for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. That's so good. Now, I'm just going to check this. We've had a few questions come in. Oh, I know. I was going to ask you something. What are you working on now with the app? Is there anything happening right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are working on version 2 at the moment. So obviously we've listened to the feedback, and it's all about making life easier for everybody. And one of the big questions we've had is there a desktop version? Oh. So up until now there hasn't been, and we've been working with the developers over the beginning of this year, and so that's the next thing that's coming. So it will also be, you'll be able to add information on your computer, and have a web-based version on your computer as well.
Oh, I love that idea.
It types a lot better on a computer than on a phone. That's something that people are really looking forward to. And also, at the moment, you can send a copy of a bride's file, but at the moment it's just a link, so it links to a web page. But in the next version, it will send a PDF. So if you want to send a PDF, say, for example, you're a makeup artist and you're working with another hairstylist, and you want to send a copy, PDF copy, you can send that to the other stylist. So that will be version 2, and then version maybe 2.5 or 2.1 is also going to include invoicing and payments. So that's something
that'll be a game changer for us.
Yeah, exactly. So everything can be done through the app. So when you put the bride's initial details in, once she's booked and paid her deposit, you'll have it all set up with your pricing for how much you charge for makeup. And if you've got different prices for bridesmaids, mums, you can put all that in. Any products that you retail as well, any travel fees, any of those things, you can put it in and it will email an invoice directly to the bride, and she can simply click on a link and pay. Depending on, you can either set it up through PayPal, or there'll be a Stripe version that they can pay directly, so you can take those credit card payments. Even if you don't have facilities, you can take those payments as well.
Oh gosh, that is going to be so awesome. But you've got a busy time coming up, obviously.
Oh, we do. Well, the app developers do. Having said that, one of the things I really learned when I first started was how long these things take to get done.
Yeah.
I initially thought, I can go and hire someone. It'll cost me, a small amount of money, and it'll take a couple of weeks. So it took about a year from me coming up with the initial idea and first speaking to the developers to when we had the app live. So we've already been working on these upgrades now for a couple of months. So hopefully we'll have something in a couple more months, and then hopefully the invoicing facility will all be here by the end of the year. But no, because you're at mercy of developers and tech guys. And these things. And also we want to test it properly. We don't want to put it out with a lot of bugs in it. So, it did take us a couple of months to try and break it when it first came out. Yeah. So we could, figure out everything and make sure that by the time it got into the hands of the bridal makeup artists and hairstylists, that it was as perfect as we could get it.
Yeah, that used to be my job in a previous life, to sort of test things and break them.
Yeah.
I did. It was my job. They used to give things to me and I used to have to test them, and it would be like, can you break it, basically? Because if you can break it, then we know we've got to fix it. So we wanted to sort it out before you put products to market. But that's how it works. That's how all products, how all apps and that work now, that you just have to test. And then when you break it, okay, that's fine. We can fix that.
Yeah, exactly.
These things do take a long time to come into fruition. So you reckon it took you a good year, really, to get things to the point of
absolutely
market, basically, from
yeah.
the idea.
Exactly. Yeah.
And guys, I just want to point out, I know that maybe sometimes we are coming in a little bit in and out, but I will also want to point out, for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that I'm a really big advocate for finding that tribe of brides. I talk about how you need to find your target market, and you need to put yourself out there to doing everything you can to attract a specific type of bride. Now, with Sue talking about this Bridal Beauty Pro app, she could have done an app for any makeup artist. She could have just done it for makeup artists. She could have done it for, you know, just any hair and makeup artist in, you know, any part of the industry, but she didn't. She specifically knew her target market and where her niche was and where her gap was, and then she designed the app to suit that person. So I just wanted to get across to you guys that there's a reason why I say to you, find your tribe of brides and do everything you can to attract those ones. Because when you find your tribe and you find the people that you really want to service and you really want to meet the expectations of, you do such a good job. And Sue is just, you know, she's done that. She's gone, I don't just want to be doing this for makeup artists. We're all in different parts of the industry in makeup. We don't just all service, you know, everyone. We specifically service bridals. I'm doing this for professional bridal stylists. So she's found her niche and gone, this is where my gap is. This is what I know. This is what I really understand. And then she's done this app to suit us. And I would imagine that everyone who watches this is now going, yeah, oh my God, that's so great. I really want to do that. Oh, I need that. Absolutely. So if any of you haven't even tried the app before, go and download it from the App Store or Google Play, because even just having a quick play around with it, like, you'll see the benefits of just having that thing in your pocket and not having to worry about pieces of paper. And I don't know about you, Sue, but I used to have, you know, face charts, and I've had templates where I've written things down about brides, and I have like a consultation sheet, and I wouldn't need any of those things because I can make my notes within the app, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And I went through a basket under my desk the other day, and I found this pile, and it was all my previous like invoices from brides. Like it was when I used to do invoicing even manually, when I used to do it on Excel before I used QuickBooks. But man, you could just get rid of QuickBooks, you could get rid of our manual and do everything through the app. So this is an absolute game changer. I'm so excited that you've come to share more information about that to everyone. So thank you so much for that. Now, if you're okay, a couple of questions from people. Now, first thing I was going to ask you, do you have lighting? So any kind of best maybe apps or lights that you use? Do you take a light with you when you do your makeup with your brides?
No, I don't. I wish I did, and it's something that I am looking into. Yeah, there seems like there are really ones market at the moment, from the makeup light to the glam cord to even just ring lights. So it is something that I have been researching, particularly, you know, for those times when we have to start a bit earlier. I'm always a fan of natural lighting, and wherever possible I get my brides facing the window, so I can use that natural light, because obviously in a wedding, you know, it's not like a photo shoot where they're going to be under harsh, unnatural lighting. So I do recommend to everyone, even if you are using an artificial light source, if you can then take the bride or the person there outside to do the makeup. Do that.
I'm the same. I'm a big advocate for put them in front of a window, and if you don't have a window, just take them outside just for a couple of minutes just to check it out. I also like to just take any kind of snap on my photo as well, on my camera as well. Just take a quick photo and just say, okay, what can I see on my camera that perhaps I'm not picking up in person? Because then that gives me an idea of what the photographers are seeing as well. But yeah, I'm the same as you. I've got a ring light, which I just don't ever really use. It's still in its box. But yeah, I'm the same. Big advocate for natural light when it comes, especially when it comes to bridal, because it's face to face, isn't it? It's what what they say. Yeah. So the other question was, somebody asked, do you have any tips that you can give new stylists when they're just starting out? To attract, for bride attraction, I think they mean, to sort of to get them started to attracting brides.
Well, really they need to think about their ideal client, which is something that you talk about, Dawn, and attracting their tribe. So whereabouts are you actually positioning yourself? So as I mentioned earlier, I started out up in far north Queensland. So I was living maybe halfway between Cairns and Port Douglas.
Lovely.
And I was seeing wedding cars everywhere. So when I first started out, I was brand new. So I didn't know anybody and I didn't have any images in my portfolio. And basically, I started out doing local brides, but then I found there was this huge pool of destination brides as well.
Yeah.
And so that ended up being the target market that I wanted to attract. And so I focused my networking and my marketing towards those people. So think about who your ideal bride is. And I mean, back then we didn't have social media. So Facebook wasn't even a thing when I first started out. It was a lot of face-to-face networking. But so one thing I strongly recommend is to network with as many people in the industry as you can. So wedding photographers, bridal planners, venues, even florists and cake makers and those sort of people.
Absolutely.
Get known, put yourself out there and be proactive in that. Don't just think you can put a few images up on a Facebook page and sit back and the work's going to come to you, because it doesn't work like that.
It might have used to have worked like that when Facebook worked for us, but it doesn't work for us anymore.
Exactly, no. And you can go and spend a whole lot of money on Facebook ads and targeted and boosting posts and all that sort of thing. But I still believe that nothing really beats good old-fashioned networking and having a connection, because people do business with those that they know, like and trust.
Absolutely.
So, while we may not be able to get straight to the brides, we can, become known, liked and trusted by those who the brides might go to first. And as we all know, word of mouth advertising or referral advertising is the greatest form of advertising and also the cheapest. So,
and once you definitely get established, those, again, I always say that if we concentrate on the experience that we provide our brides, then those referrals, they will come. They will come, because if you can provide it, it's not, like I said, it's not just the outcome. There are a lot of hairstylists and makeup artists around that can achieve the look, but are they going to get the experience that you can provide? So, I'm, again, big advocate, finding those brides, looking at where you are. Yeah, location's big as well. I think I'm frozen again soon.
Yeah, you're frozen for me.
Yeah, I think I'm frozen, guys. That's okay. But again, I think knowing where you are, knowing where, like geographically where you are, like where are you in terms of brides? I was speaking to an artist the other day, and she said she's quite near a lot of vineyards, and I thought, well, perfect. Then that's a great way to get started with networking with those vineyards, and because those are the brides that you really want to have that are, near you, because they're the brides that are likely to come to you for their hair and makeup. So yeah, it's all about positioning yourself, finding the right location. And okay, Ashley, hello Ashley, thank you for joining us. Ashley has said, when you are networking and wanting referrals, what's your position on referral fees? Oh, I like that idea. So have you ever worked with anyone sort of in the industry, like wedding planners and stuff, that have asked for fees?
Not exactly. I have subcontracted with a number of other bridal makeup artists, and I've had people that have subcontracted with me when I was up in far north Queensland. And so I think that's the time when I would pay and or expect a fee. So if I'm working under another makeup artist's banner and they're doing all the hard work, well, some of the hard work, which is the backwards and forwards, the emailing with the bride, because we know that can be a lot.
Yes.
And just turn up on the day, then I'm more than happy, because I know the value of that time.
Yeah, that you're being paid for your service. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think that I've ever actually paid a referral fee to another person in the industry, whether it be a photographer or a venue or anything like that. But, however, there's nothing wrong with thanking people, maybe buying them a bottle of wine or sending them a voucher to the movies or something like that to show your appreciation, even as much as a little thank you card, a handwritten thank you card, because, that's kind of almost a thing of the past.
Yeah, snail mail, but it's when you receive something, you're like, oh, I've got a letter. Did you make me feel like that?
Even, stick in a gift voucher in there or something like that, you know. I actually sent a gift voucher to a bride recently who has referred, I think I'm about 5 weddings now that I've booked since I did her wedding. So her sister-in-law, her sister-in-law's sister-in-law, her cousin, a friend, you know, there's this whole group, and obviously I'm very, very grateful for all of that work. So
So I think, like me, you're probably not adverse to maybe, you know what, I think it's going to depend as well, though, on how much work they're willing to give you as well. So if this is like a planner, say it was a wedding planner, wedding coordinator, and, you know, they are getting, you know, a good 50, 100 weddings a year, and they're happy to pass that work on to you, then having some commission-based fee, Ashley, I think that that's something that you could probably negotiate with, but I think what you would need to do is come to some kind of appreciation. I know that I know I've got some stylists who I speak to a lot, and they do this. They do have a reciprocal, you know, they have a reciprocal thing where these planners, basically, they always refer them to the one specific makeup artist and hairstylist because they know how good they are. But I would imagine that there is some kind of exchange of fee there, or there is some kind of commission to that. So actually, I'm not adverse to it. I don't think that that's a bad thing, but look into it really well, and kind of make sure that, you know, they can kind of guarantee you the work. Do you agree, Sue? I think that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, if they're going to just be having you on their preferred suppliers list, or, you know, just sending your details out to the brides, that's quite different from, this is our preferred makeup artist, this is the one we strongly recommend that you book. So I guess it really depends on the level of that.
Yeah, if you're going to be part of their package, that you're there, you know, if they're going to set up a package and you're going to be part of it, then I think that, if they're going to guarantee you work all the time, perfect. If you're just, if what you're doing is what Sue's saying, which is being on just a preferred, you know, list of hair and makeup artists, and, you know, they're just sort of handing that out to the bride saying, well, this is who we like to work with, but they're not actually plugging you and promoting you, then I wouldn't really be setting up any kind of fees with that.
Yeah, and I guess one of the other things that you can do too is, rather than a monetary fee, if they're having a bridal expo or something, and this is a real win-win thing, is going and doing the makeup or the hairstyling for the models in the fashion show at their bridal expo, and doing that obviously free of charge, because you're helping them out and you're also showcasing your work. So
and they announce that too. They'll tell you in the like all the brochures and stuff. It was, if you're part of the, especially if you're part of the fashion shows and you're doing it for, say, a gown, someone who's displaying their gowns, they'll actually put in there who the hair and makeup was by. So that does then give you a little bit of exposure.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you for that question, Ashley. So I am looking at the time, and I feel like we've taken up enough of your time. So before I close down, I've just got quick questions to ask you. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready.
Finish this sentence. I love it when brides.
Oh, I love it when brides look in the mirror after I've finished their hair and makeup, and you just hear that intake of breath and, oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
That is the reward to me.
Love that. Love it. Okay. I hate it when brides.
Ooh, hate's a really strong word, and I don't like that word, but it really saddens me when I'm at a wedding and the bride gets caught up in a little detail and forgets to look at the big picture. Yeah. I had a wedding that I did last year, and the bride wanted a particular shade of blue flowers, and the florist wasn't able to get them, so she spray painted some flowers or something, but she didn't get the shade right. The bride ended up in tears, the florist ended up in tears, and I'm there thinking, this is the best day of your life. Don't let a shade of blue, you know, so just sit back, and I, you know, I'm all about trying to create that really relaxed, stress-free experience. And at times it can be a little difficult to remind her that look at the big picture, you know, rather than focusing on, you know,
just that one tiny detail. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and what would you say is the biggest tip that you could give to any of our new stylists out there?
Really think about who you are and your profile that you're portraying to your prospective clients and to the industry. So that's everything from looking at your social media profile to your website, and go out there with intention of, well, this is who I want to portray myself as to attract the sort of clients and the sort of work that I want to do.
Love it. Absolutely. 100%. Brand clarity, but not just brand as in, how your website looks and how your profile looks. It's all about you and what you bring, right? Brand is everything.
Yeah, because people will do business with people that they feel aligned with.
Absolutely.
So you're going to attract the sort of bride that kind of feels that connection with you. So
yeah, 100%. I totally agree with you there. So, okay, now lastly, Sue, before we go, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I know that the viewers will appreciate your time as well. Any questions, any extra questions you've got, guys, we will come back and answer them. I can get Sue, she can log in and onto Facebook and she can answer your questions too. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you very much for your time, Sue. My last question is, where can everyone find all information about you or about the Bridal Beauty Pro app?
Okay, so hopefully you can read it on my banner behind me there, but we are at bridalbeautyproapp.com is our website, and there's direct links there that you can, click on to be taken to the App Store or the Google Play Store and find where you can download the app. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Bridal Beauty Pro App.
Awesome.
So, yeah, look forward to
McLaurin, thank you for your time today.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your week, and I shall speak to you again soon. I'll cut off from you and then just we'll chat again in a few minutes.
Great. Thanks.
Right. Thanks, Sue.
Bye.
Okay, guys, wasn't that fantastic? Sue is amazing, isn't she? Look at the things that she's achieving in this industry. A veteran of 600 weddings. I mean, that's insane when you think about it, right? But I truly appreciate Sue coming on live, and I really hope that you guys have got some great information out of today's interview. Please, again, do not forget to give me those thumbs up and those hearts. Please show your appreciation for Sue. It's really amazing that she's taken the time to talk to my bridal army about, weddings and makeup, and I'm leaving this with a great buzz today because it's so nice to talk to people that are so passionate about what we do, right? Same as Ted, absolutely amazing. That's awesome. Thank you. Yes, in finding your tribe, absolutely, definitely need to do that. Okay, guys, so I'm going to turn off. Have a great rest of the week. I will be back next week. I've got actually Q&A coming up next week. So next Monday, our normal Monday morning live session is going to be a Q&A. So if you've got questions you want to ask me just about growing and building your bridal business, then please do leave me some comments below. Or if you want to go into our private Facebook community, you can go to facebook.com/groups/Dawn's Bridal Army, and you can find there'll be a post in there coming up this week saying ask me anything, so please do leave me your comments. All right, guys, take care. Thank you so much for joining us, and I shall see you again soon. All right, bye for now.